Hey, my name is Paul Maxwell. I'm the CEO of RevOps HQ. We're a certified HubSpot Solutions Partner. And today we're going to look at how to set up your HubSpot if you're a law firm and you want to run a central business intelligence interface from inside HubSpot that gives you a high-level view of everything inside your law firm, as well as connects to common integrations such as Clio or other matter management software that you might have. So before we hop into HubSpot, and we already know what HubSpot is, let me just kind of get through this. It's a central source of truth for all of your business information, but it's also the central place where you automate everything for your business, from sales to marketing to matter management to operations to customer service. So you can manage all of your social media out of here. All of your advertising can be centralized, all of your form submissions, and it's all covered by HubSpot's data policy. And you get all of that hosted on an enterprise data management system that has lots of automations, lots of associations and relationships that you can customize between records. So having said all of that, let's get down to actually looking at what it's like to actually manage all of your law firm data inside of HubSpot. Okay, so when we are looking at HubSpot for law firms, we want to look at a system that runs your entire business, not just a sales tool bolted onto everything else you already run, but also a sales to attorney handoff tool. Okay, so we want HubSpot to be that central database for your business that touches everything, every client, every person, every matter, every request, with the work that happened attached to them. And so I want to get into how HubSpot works for a law firm, but it's important for us to explain one core concept in HubSpot, and that's an object model. So if you are a law firm, you're familiar with managing these spreadsheets, right? Now, what an object is in HubSpot is it's just a table. And by a table, I mean it's a collection of rows and columns where each row represents an individual record and each column represents a property or an attribute of that record. Now in HubSpot, we have what's called the core four objects, which are contacts. So if I click on this contacts button here, it takes me to all of my contacts. I can filter, sort. You're familiar with all these things. You can do it in Excel already, right? That's not what makes HubSpot special. Then you've got companies. These are organizations, right? So you have contacts who are people objects. You have companies, which are organizations. Then you have deals, which are transaction opportunities you perform with those companies or contacts that you actually transact with. And then tickets, which are customer service opportunities that arise from these transactions. Okay, those are the core four in HubSpot. And I meant to actually surface this law firm view before. Okay, here, for example, in a law firm, you can track referrals, referral fee value, number of referrals sent, location, things like that, right? You can customize all this stuff. You can add metadata. You can customize this to your heart's content. The cool thing about what we've built is that we've worked with dozens of law firms before, and we've abstracted the basic structure of what your law firm practice should look like inside HubSpot. Now, a lot of what happens in a law firm CRM is communication. It's automated text messages. It's PandaDoc document generation. It's a lot of the actual workflow of an intake team, a marketing team, a sales team, and an intake to attorney handoff team or an intake to advisor handoff team happens in that activity window where you're scheduling things, you're scheduling meetings, you're following up, you're sending contracts, you want things to be signed, and you want automations handling all that stuff, right? That stuff absolutely comes out of the box with HubSpot. And to be honest with you, not worth getting into right now, because what you really want to track is the object model that lives inside of your HubSpot database. Because I could show you an entire contract flow that we have with one of these contacts, and that would be totally fine. I could show you how the PandaDoc integration works. I could show you how to use HubSpot eSignature to manage it all from HubSpot. And I could even show you some workflows that we have that are quality of life workflows that allow us to automate these things, such as you have a matter with a limitation state warning or a deal with a fee agreement follow-up. And automatically, if you have a limitation state that's unknown on a specific matter, you want to have a warning there that, indicates to a specific attorney or advisor, listen, this information needs to be updated. And we have all these logical rules that manage your business process in the back end in HubSpot. Again, we can get into that. We have all the templates for that automatically built out for this template. If you're a law firm and you go to a HubSpot Solutions Partner like me, and you say, we want to build out our custom HubSpot exactly the way our business works, they're going to charge you between $30,000 and $50,000 probably to do that. Whereas what we've done is we've abstracted 90% of what every single law firm asks for when they get into HubSpot. And so we can just install this in one click inside of your HubSpot portal and leave the remaining 10% to customize to your specific company. Okay. But now that we understand there are, let's say, contacts that we view inside HubSpot, companies we view inside HubSpot, deals that we view inside HubSpot. And you can also view the life cycle of these deals. Okay. And you can view, for example, the deal type, personal injury, the fee agreement, flat fee, hourly, pro bono, the estimated fee, conflicts checked, right? So you check all your OPs, consultation outcome, when the fee agreement was sent, when the fee agreement was signed, the summary of the matter, the referral source, all of these kinds of things. And then finally, of course, we have tickets, right? These are all of our tickets that we manage to manage our in-house operations at the law firm, as well as client service tickets that need to be serviced. And then finally, our matters, where we actually manage all of our matters here, and these can sync directly with Clio. So you have matter status, responsible attorney, limitations date, when that matter was opened, things like that. And you can view the board view. So you say when it's open, when it's on hold, when it's in litigation, when the settlement is pending, and whether it's won or lost. Okay. So in HubSpot, again, you have these core four: contacts, companies, deals, and tickets. And we add a custom object called matter for you. So some law firms, they prefer to have a one-to-one sync between a deal, which again is that transaction opportunity, and a matter. But what we found, and that's fine, and that's how the Clio integration with HubSpot works out of the box. But what we found is that there are some attorneys that prefer a multi-matter relationship. So they want a one-to-many relationship between a deal and a matter, because what they find themselves doing is on a deal, they'll say, they add a bunch of columns where they say, here's all the matter one description, matter two dates, matter two type, matter three description, matter three date, matter three type. And they add all of these extra fields, and it doesn't scale that way. So instead, what we've done is we've added a whole separate table for matters that can be associated to the deal. Now, let me just click in very quickly before I show you the actual process that we're facilitating inside of HubSpot to what a contact record looks like, okay? Because in HubSpot, there are three things you can do with data. Number one, you can manually interact with it like we're doing here. Number two, you can automate it like we're doing here in these workflows that we set up these logical rules for. And number three, you can visualize it, okay? So with data, you can do three things. You can manually interact with it, you can automate it, and you can visualize it. And so HubSpot enables you to do all three of these things in a seamless way that, again, comes back to the underlying data model being set up in a way that corresponds to your specific business. Okay. The automations that you want sit on top of an accurate data model. So let's click into a contact record and see what this data model affords us. Now, this contact record, I can see, first of all the activities associated with this contact record. So if I want to see all of this activity, I can see any emails I've had with them, calls I've had with them. If I have my VoIP provider connected, I can call them directly. That transcript will be logged automatically to HubSpot. I can email them directly. I can do lots of activities. But more importantly, this is the object model here. So this set of relationships where each of these objects are associated to one another is what I have here. I'm looking at a contact record, and I can see the matter number, their role. So this is a weird one. This person, I'm using this more as an illustration to show you how you can have a contact that has multiple relationships to multiple matters. For example, here you have an association where they are an opposing party on this matter. Here they have a matter where they're testifying on that matter. So obviously you wouldn't have something that looks like this usually. But then you have the matter status. Is it in litigation, settlement pending, close won, close lost, right? This goes back to this status. So if I move this here, this would just be automatically updated when we look here. Okay. Then you have deals that they're in. So, okay, we have a deal with them. One's in family law, one's in commercial litigation, one's in estate planning. And then here we have the companies that they're associated to. This is probably actually just another attorney record. In this case, this would be opposing counsel, right? Then we can see the responsible attorney on this case. We can see the limitations date when the matter was opened, right? You see all this metadata. You can also see if you're a regional or multi-office law firm, you can also see, first of all, the address that they gave us. Is it valid? I can validate it. Great. It's valid. But you know what? Google is suggesting, or HubSpot is suggesting, a specific different address. So I'm actually going to apply that suggestion. And now I've updated their address. This is actually a custom tool that we've built called Minimap, which you can install in your HubSpot portal. No problem. So this is what it looks like inside a contact record. But what I really want to show you is the process that this facilitates. So the entire process that this facilitates, okay, this isn't just about storing data. It's about making data actionable and automated so that you're not performing all the manual tasks required in your system, and that all of the processes that need to be performed are being performed not only automatically, but reportably. Because again, not to keep hammering this nail, but the three things you can do with data are interact with it, automate it, and visualize it. And so the power of HubSpot is you take a real business process and you build it on a proper data model, and then you can interact with that data, automate all processes related to that data, and visualize the success or failure of all of those processes, and then optimize for the success cases. So let's take an example here where we have on the marketing level an inquiry where some inquiry arrives from somewhere and it goes to your intake team, and somebody answers or does not answer. So first of all, intake conflicts are checked. Is this person an opposing party on another matter? Yes or no, right? Then the consultation happens or that consultation does not happen. And there are conditional events that occur due to that. Then a fee agreement goes out, usually through PandaDoc or through some other DocuSign integration, and it starts aging. Then the matter opens and the referral gets credited. Then the client requests a run on a clock, and limitations date cannot be forgotten. So we have automatic follow-ups. We already saw a workflow that ensures that the limitations date is not forgotten, right? And that automatically there are reminders to the client and to the internal attorneys about all of those limitations. And we can also build, just to show you here, a list of all of these objects here in HubSpot. So if we go to all of our matters, tickets, deals, companies, and contacts, we can create limits on these things, right? So I can go to this and I can create a filtered list, and I can say, okay, I don't just want this to be a list of all of these demo tenants. I want this also to be a list of all I want this all to be where our limitation dates are less than 30 days from now. Great. And now I'm going to have all of these matters updated, and I'm going to have this list. And this can just be an automatically, dynamically updating list of all matters whose limitation date is 30 days from now. And here we have one, but this is just sample data, right? So this makes sure these things are never forgotten. And every day you can check in and have all these lists, which can be built on any parameters for your law firm. And we could say, I want an active list that always shows me the truth about who hasn't interacted with us, who hasn't followed up, who has outstanding documents, what limitations date are less than 30 days from now. You can do time-based filters. You can do status-based filters. Any data that lives in HubSpot, again, can be manually interacted with, can be automated, can be visualized, can be updated, and can be reported upon. Then we have this go to reporting. So we want to see the funnel by practice area. We want to see where the work actually comes from. And we want to see one screen for the managing partner. This is what brings us into reports. So this is just one example of one dashboard you would have. For an actual law firm, you would have about 10 dashboards. And what a dashboard is the container that we're looking at. It's the full page. A report is a panel on this page. So the dashboard is the parent object and the report is the child object here. Again, talking about that object model. So here is an example of some of the reports you can build based on the data model that we would install in your law firm's HubSpot portal. Number one, intake funnel by stage, where you have an inquiry received, conflicts cleared, consultation held, fee agreement sent, etc. You could also build this report where it's not just counts of deals, but also the deal amount or the expected fee amount. So you could actually look at the potential revenue that it sits inside each of these buckets. Then we have the limitation dates approaching. So these are all of the, this is a list of all of your risk, right? Where you have the matter status, the limitation date, and the responsible attorney. Then you can have matters by attorney broken down by status. So here are all of your attorneys, and here each bar represents a status. It's either open, on hold, litigation, settlement pending, closed won, closed lost, withdrawn. And again, you can have these numbers not just be counts, but amounts and revenue as well. So you see how much revenue is currently in settlement pending, how much revenue is in litigation, how much revenue is in lost, how much is in won, how much revenue is on hold or open, etc. Then you can have fees by agreement broken down by practice area, right? So you say, okay, I want of all our hourly agreements in employment, we've got 2 million in fees in total. For all our flat fee in commercial litigation, we've got 4 million in fees. For all our contingency in family, we've got 350,000. Right? So again, you're breaking it down and then you're breaking it down again, and you're using the amount as a parameter. We built all of these in a very short amount of time. So what you're seeing now is kind of a mix of a lot of different things. You typically wouldn't see all these reports on the same dashboard. I'm just trying to give you a sampling of the variety of different kinds of reports you can build based, again, on this object model that you have inside of HubSpot, right? This object model where you have contacts, company deals, tickets, and matters all in the same place, all associated to one another, all connected to HubSpot's interactive automation and business intelligence interface that we're looking at now. So if we go through this again, here are the current questions that your current tech stack without HubSpot cannot answer. Your intake funnel by practice area, matters and fees by referral source, why you lost all of your projects, client response time by attorney, your realized fee by fee arrangement, and your consult assigned agreement by practice area. You can build all those reports here. You can say time to first reply, right? Average time to a first agent email reply, right? This quarter so far. Where it's false, so basically like you have your SLA. So we have to meet an SLA in a certain amount of time. Did we meet it? False. Did we meet it? True. Then we have why we lost broken down by budget area or broken down by practice area, right? So we're losing a lot in personal injury to price. We're losing a lot in went dark on employment, right? We're losing a lot in employment because they're not our ICP. We're losing a lot to competitor in estate planning. Okay. So here we're not losing a ton in no decision or status quo, right? It allows us to see a distribution of closed lost reason for all of your deals broken down by reason that they were lost, and then broken down again by practice area. And then finally, you have fees by referral source broken down by practice area, right? So here are all your referral sources on the x-axis, and then they're broken down again by practice area, right? So you have your website bringing you a massive amount of commercial litigation, right? A massive amount of commercial litigation, but you also have Hollis and Vance sending you a ton of personal injury. You have personal clients sending you a ton of commercial litigation. You've got the CPA sending you a certain amount, right? And so here you can see client referral. This is primarily a commercial litigation firm, but you can also see, okay, what of our referral sources are working and what are not. Finally, you have first response SLA broken down by client satisfaction. So if they were satisfied, right, here is your SLA first response. And 3, 4, 5 is the rating that they give you, right? So 5 is you have 5 counts here that they were satisfied, and 4 or 8 is where you have counts here where they were not satisfied. And then finally, matters by referral source broken down by practice area. So these are all of your matters, right? Not just the deal revenue themselves, which you have here, but the matter count themselves broken down by revenue. It's interesting to compare these things because here you've got real estate coming in far lower from a revenue perspective, but you have real estate coming here almost matching the same amount as commercial litigation from a count perspective. So it's interesting. Your ROI on these real estate cases is much lower then your ROI on the commercial litigation side coming from your web traffic. That's something that HubSpot can show you. And then finally, you have intake by stage broken down by practice area. Okay. So injury received, conflicts cleared, consultation held. This is your deal pipeline broken down by practice area. So, hey, how many fee agreement cents do we have here? And you can also, of course, have this be revenue, but you could say basically how many cases or how many matters do we have that are currently have the fee agreement sent out, broken down by practice area. Then you say practice area broken down by fee arrangement. So here in estate planning, we've got 109 hourly, right? And very few pro bono. We've got a few retainer plus hourly. And again, you can do this by revenue. And then you have matter status broken down by responsible attorney, right? So I want to see, okay, all of these counts of all of these matter statuses. And I want to see the percentage of our matters in terms of that matter status. So I want to see closed lost. It's a very small portion. Withdrawn is a very small portion. Closed won is larger. We have a lot of settlement pending, a lot in litigation, a lot on hold, and even more that are open. Finally, we have estimated fee amount by practice area. So in employment, this is how much we're bringing in. Commercial litigation, this is how much we're bringing in. Estate planning, this is how much we're bringing in. And then we have our total estimated fees, which of course, this is all time, but this can be broken down by rolling 30 days, rolling 90 days, status by deal pipeline, status by matter pipeline. There's a lot of business intelligence. You can break down this number. You can have this generate multiple numbers. The report builder inside HubSpot is quite robust. I won't get into it now. That's something we typically get into with HubSpot onboarding. But again, I just want to summarize all of this. What we've shown you is that you can have all of your contacts that show you, again, all of the matters they're associated with, all of the deals they're associated with, all the companies they're associated with, their role on each matter, their role on each deal, the practice area of each deal, all the companies you're interacting with, tracking by referral, all the deals that you're interacting with, tracking by practice area, free arrangement, estimated fee that allow you to do actual revenue intelligence reporting inside your HubSpot. You can manage all your internal firm operations and your external clients, service resolution issues here in HubSpot. All of these deals can sync to Clio as matters, or you can manage them as their own matters table so that inside of a deal, you have all of the matters that are, let's say, associated to that deal, or all of the contacts that are associated to that deal, etc. And then you can also automate everything as we've seen here. You can have all of those automations, all of those workflows built out for you, and you can have all of this built out. This is just one of, like I said, probably 10 individual dashboards that we would have, including a client service dedicated dashboard, an intake dedicated dashboard, a sales dedicated dashboard. And the point here, again, is that the point here is that all of this is based on an object model. And as a professional, as a business professional, not just as a lawyer, not just as a partner at a law firm, but as a business professional, it's important for you to be CRM proficient. This is a core business skill that you just have to have. And core to CRM proficiency is understanding your object model and how setting up the right object model for your company lays the foundation for interacting with data that looks correct, having an intelligible user interface that you have command over and represent the actual data model of your company, building appropriate workflows because they are built on the data model that correspond to the actual business processes you're trying to automate inside HubSpot, and then looking at the data in an appropriate way because it allows you to cross-reference and look up and calculate all of the numbers and values on your revenue or on your performance that you need to because you have the data model, or more appropriately said, the object model set up correctly in the first place. So again, you can answer all of these important questions. You can automate all of these important processes, and it's all built on the specific object model unique to law firm operations and legal ops. So if you're a firm, this is a HubSpot configuration that we can install on your portal in one click, do a discovery with you, and then customize. This gets you 90% of the way. We can customize the remaining 10% for you. So reach out to us. We are, again, a HubSpot certified partner. This is what we covered today. We are RevOps HQ. We are a HubSpot certified partner, and we've done this for dozens of law firms, and we would be happy to do it for you. Best of luck in your business, and please reach out to me or schedule a meeting with me. My meeting link, which is hosted on HubSpot, is in the show notes. Thanks very much.